once again to the Thacker Mountain Radio Hour, coming to you tonight from Off Square Books on the Square in Oxford, Mississippi.
When we're feeling way down low, you got no place to go. Can't call a lover, can't find no friend, can't call you so and so. Put your hand on the radio, can you feel it? Down to your toes, can you feel it? That's how it goes, can you feel it? Lord only knows, can you feel it? Put your hand on the radio. This world has got you down. The blues come around and come down. The high sides are singing their mournful song. You know what I'm talking about. Well, get on your mule and ride to town. Can you feel it? Down to your toes, can you feel it? That's how it goes, can you feel it? Lord only knows, can you feel it? Well, put your hand on the radio. I'm down on my knees, begging you please. Here comes Jim. Whoa! Here come Jim.
Welcome to the Thacker Mountain Radio Hour, as we mentioned, coming to you from Off Square Books on the Square in Oxford. Fine show for y'all tonight. Leland Sundries is here. I love the description I saw, I believe New York Times, oddball country. I'm there. Leland Sundries, oddball country. And Leland Sundries, is it a name or a business? We'll find out. Samantha Downing is here, my lovely wife, this psychological thriller. It will keep you up at night, a page-turner in the best way. Can't wait to talk to Samantha about her book. And we've got the Ellis Family Band, from not Mountain View, Arkansas, but Branson, Missouri now. They've relocated and have come down to visit. A family band. They sing it, they play it, high energy. It's going to be a lot of fun, beautiful harmonies. Look forward to hearing them. But speaking of oddball sensibilities, ladies and gentlemen, Our house band, we love them week in and week out. I'll put them up against any live radio band in this land. Y'all, the Yellow Bushwhackers.
She hates my mama, she hates my daddy too. She loves to tell me she hates the things I do. She loves to lie beside me almost every night. She's no lady, she's my wife. Preacher asked her, and she said I do. The preacher asked me, she said yes, he does too. The preacher says I now pronounce you between the fine line. Since she's no lady, she's my wife. I can't remember how I met her. Seems like she always been hanging around here on my right arm. I can't remember how I ever thought I could live without a woman's charm. She loves the smell of French perfume, even though she walks around in high heel shoes. All I know is I'm the one who pays the price. She's no lady, she's my wife. She always been just hanging around here on my right arm. I can't remember how I ever thought I couldn't live without a woman's charm. She hates my mama, she hates my daddy too. She loves to tell me she hates the things I do. She loves to lie beside me almost every night. She's no lady, she's my wife. She's no lady, she's my wife.
Yellow Bushwhackers, y'all. Let them hear you. Let them hear you. Warm them up. Warm these boys up. Y'all, please welcome all the way from New York, Leland Sundries.
She's from Tennessee, works the all-night grocery. Showed up for jury duty, still drunk. Her eyes sunk, cause she was smelling like a skunk. Ran over a garden gnome on the way home from her prefab. Now she's sneaking Benadryl, paper slippers, rehab. After closing out at the Abbey, I got into a fist fight with this cabbie. I got home, I shut Thank you guys so much. This next one is about being worried about someone and not being able to do a whole lot about it. I feel like that's something that we can all relate to in this world.
So it's a happy song.
Right. It's called Song for the Girl with the Replacements Tattoo. She had good taste in bands. I don't know.
I sure hope there's not a girl in here with a replacement tattoo.
All right. All right, thank you guys so much. That's Mr. Neil Bartlett on the bass guitar and vocals.
Hi.
And Mr. Sean Zorn on the drums. Yeah, we are super, super psyched to be here. So much. We're Leland Sundries once again.
Leland Sundries, y'all. Let him hear you. Leland Sundries. Great band. Listening to the Thacker Mountain Radio Hour. Coming to you tonight from Off Square Books in Oxford. You're hearing us on WUMS 92.1 FM. And we thank them so much for bringing their equipment every week and getting us on the air out of this beautiful bookstore. You're also hearing us on the stations of Mississippi Public Broadcasting and Alabama Public Radio. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, AT&T, the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the Arts Council of Clinton, Cannon Motors, Delta Music Institute, Doyce H.D.'s Foundation, Dr. John and Tammy Cook, The End of All Music, Jenny Wilson Munger, The Graduate Hotel, The Ink Spot, the Juke Joint Festival, the Lamar, a master planned community, Larry and Michael Johnson Family Foundation, Link Center, Livingston Merchants Association, Main Attraction Emporium and Coffee Bar, the Mary C. O'Keefe Cultural Center, Margot Russell, Alabama Visual Artist, Mississippi Arts Commission, Molly and Mark Meeks, Community Foundation for Mississippi, Neshoba County Fair Association, Party Waiting to Happen, Dr. Ralph and Douglas Vance, Ron and Becky Fader Charitable Foundation for the Arts, Roanoke, the home of William Faulkner, Snooky and Mary Lou Williams Foundation of Water Valley, Mississippi. I see you. Southside Gallery, Square Books, Taproot Audio Design, The Lyric Oxford, Trustmark Bank, Visit Oxford, the Ware Foundation, City Grocery, and the Friends of Thacker Mountain Radio. More info on how you can be a Thacker backer at thackermountain.com. Mark Yakabone. Or as Duff used to call you, Mark Iacovone. Yeah. All right. My lovely wife may be the most sarcastic title of all time, given what this lady does in this book. My Lovely Wife is from Berkeley Publishers. It's about a married couple who, in order to spice up their marriage, decide to become serial killers. Just in time for Christmas, folks. Yeah, please welcome Samantha Downing. Let us say right off the bat, there's murder and mayhem and knives and all kind of things going on, but this is not a gory book. All that stuff takes place off page, but it is still scary, and you build up the tension, and you know what you're doing.
Yes, I do. I know absolutely what I'm doing.
Because you were, in fact, a serial killer yourself.
That's exactly it. No, there is no gore in the book. There are allusions to it, and if you would like to picture it in your mind, you're free to do that. And if you don't want to, turn the page, and you don't have to. So it is not graphic in any way. It's not graphic in violence, in sex, and I don't even think there's a curse word in the book. So it's a clean serial killer book.
And a page turner. I did read. Well, one thing I read that you wrote 12 novels. Everyone says, "Oh, this is her debut." You wrote 12 novels and never submitted them. Just put them in a drawer. Is that right?
Right. This is actually number 12. There are 11 terrible books that I wrote that don't deserve to be published, and I did it as a hobby. I really did. Some people go home at night and play the guitar or the harmonica or whatever it is you do. You cook, you garden, you do your thing. Writing was my thing, so that's what I did, and I joined a writing group. Someone in the writing group took this book and sent it to a friend who sent it to an agent in New York who contacted me and said it wasn't for him, but he knew somebody it was for, and that woman is now my agent, and she sold the book in 4 days.
You see, folks? Congratulations. Kind of a 2-book deal. You have a brand new thriller coming out in the spring, I understand. That is getting it done.
Yes, April 28th, the next one comes out. It's called He Started It, and...
There's some sleepless nights ahead, I can see.
And, contrary to what it sounds, we're not talking about anybody's husband. This is siblings we're talking about, and he started it. Mom.
Well, speaking of siblings and family, I saw this described as a domestic thriller because you've got the two parents, the two married couple who are spicing up their lives by murdering people, and they have 2 kids. So in between taking them to soccer practice and going to the grocery to pick up healthy food for them to eat, they're out there. That's just so sick, isn't it?
They are the couple next door, and they have extracurricular activities. I mean, that's just how it is. I think a domestic thriller, how they define it today, is that none of the main characters are in law enforcement, so it's not a detective main character or a police officer. The entire story is actually narrated by the husband. We don't ever get into the wife's mind, whose name is Millicent, by the way.
Millicent, and she's very much capable of, tossing a salad for the family while she's discussing the finer points of filing off people's fingertips, so that the body can't be ID. This is the kind of woman this is. Sick, I'm telling you. I couldn't get enough of this. But and you mentioned the husband. He does not have a name. He narrates this whole story, and you're trying to think, why is he participating to the point he does, which he does very much so participating, but he seems sort of normal. How can he exist in this relationship? And everybody is lying to everybody. He's lying to her. She's lying to him. The kids are even lying to the parents, and the parents are lying to the kids. My question is, Samantha, how are things at home?
I'm not married, never been married, never have kids. And I've never killed anybody. So it really is fiction. Actually, one of the things I wanted to do in the book was to show how You can't contain a bad act. They are doing this thing that's a secret between them, but it ripples out, and it ripples out to their kids, it ripples out to the community, that things we do have an effect, and try as they might to contain it into their own little thing. People are dying, so it has an effect on things, including the kids who have no idea what's happening, but they know something.
Yeah, and the husband teaches tennis lessons, and he's at the country club all the time. And there's a lot of country club stuff in here. And in fact, the home the family lives in, they really can't afford it. But through some luck, she has some contacts. She's a realtor, by the way. There you go, realtors. They have this house they really can't afford. So you've got some social commentary in there as it relates to country clubs and trying to keep up with the Joneses and that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. They live in a gated community in Florida, and it definitely pokes fun at suburban life and the drive to keep up and what suburban life is like today with two parents that are working all the time, kids that need to get to activities, making sure they eat organic food, and dividing up who's going to drive who where. So there's a lot of poking fun at that sort of a lifestyle that's become so common these days. It's tongue-in-cheek. So the book is not a serious, this is going to make you depressed thriller. It's actually funny, I think, but I might have a weird sense of humor. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I did see an interview with you where you said, and you studied thrillers, and you're a big thriller reader, and pacing is so important, and this thing is so beautifully paced. But you said, I get tired of waiting to the very end for the big plot twist. So you decided to reward the reader very generously with incredible twists. They come kind of fast and furious, do they not?
I try to. I think what's popular now is a mid-book twist. I try to have multiple twists, so the story always keeps you on your toes. Readers love to be surprised. I love to be as a reader. I don't want to read a book 80% through and then have the twist at the very end. I want it to just keep surprising and keep me turning the pages. That's the whole goal of a writer, is did I make you turn the page? If I did that, I have accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. Mission accomplished. Before we hear a little bit from the book, I did want to note that you're from the Bay Area of San Francisco originally and have recently relocated to New Orleans. And again, I say, what do you have against boring food? How's New Orleans going? Are you enjoying it down
New
there?
Orleans is great. You know, I've actually been there a while. I've actually been in New Orleans a while, and it's a great, great city. I can't say anything bad about it except the summers are way too humid. Other than that, it's a great city to live in, especially for anybody in a creative field. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of food, there is a lot of food in this book. And there's all this healthy eating, which is hilarious because she's out killing people at night, but no hot dogs in the house, you know. Yeah. And they eat an incredible amount of desserts in this book. Eclairs, and ice cream, and you're a dessert person, aren't you, Samantha?
Yeah. I think in any family, food is something that brings people together. The kitchen is the place that you hang out in. Meals in this particular family are spent together. Millicent is the extreme of a superwoman, or what that term used to mean, where you do everything. You take care of the family, you take care of the house, you have a career, and she's the extreme version of it, and she has rules. You sit down and you have breakfast together, you have dinner together, there are no cell phones at the table ever, and if one rings, God forbid, thank God she doesn't kill her kids, but the food is what brings them all together and what puts them all in the same room. And there are treats. The bad food, the ice cream, is the treats that come after you eat the organic food and the soy milk.
Yeah. And by the way, the name Millicent, where did that come from?
Millicent. The name Millicent came from the Brady Bunch. And I know every episode of that show probably verbatim. And Millicent, if we were having a question and answer, I would ask you, who knows who Millicent is? Millicent was the first girl Bobby kissed, and she gave him the mumps. And if you remember, the actress that played that was Melissa Sue Anderson, who played Mary on Little House on the Prairie. And just to make the point, he kissed her, so he gave himself mumps. And she immediately said, "You should not have done that, Bobby. I have the mumps."
Well, she's upped her game from mumps, I can tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the least of people's worries in this book. It is a page-turner. Whether you're a thriller lover or not, you will be. After you read this, we're going to hear a little bit from it. My Lovely Wife, y'all. What a beautiful title. Samantha Downing.
She is looking at me. Her blue eyes are glassy. They flicker down to her drink and back up. I look at my own drink and can feel her watching, wondering if I'm as interested as she is. I glance over and smile to show her I am. She smiles back. Most of her lipstick is gone, now a reddish smear on the rim of her glass. I walk over and take a seat next to her. She fluffs her hair. Her lips move, she says hello, and her eyes are brighter. Physically, I appeal to her the same way I would appeal to most women in this bar. I am 39, in excellent shape, with a full head of hair and a deep set of dimples, and my suit fits better than a glove. That's why she looked at me, why she smiled, why she is happy I have come over to join her. I am the man she has in mind. I slide my phone across the bar. It displays a message. "Hello, my name is Tobias." She reads it and crinkles her brow, looking back and forth between the phone and me. I type another message. "I am deaf." Her eyebrows shoot up. She covers her mouth with one hand, and the pink rises on her skin. Embarrassment looks the same on everyone. She shakes her head at me. "Sorry, so sorry. She did not know." "Of course you didn't know. How could you?" She smiles. It's not quite whole. I am no longer the picture in her head, no longer the man she imagined, but now she isn't sure what to do. She picks up my phone and types back. "I'm Petra." "A pleasure to meet you, Petra. Are you Russian?" "My parents were." I nod and smile. She nods and smile. I can hear her mind churning. She would rather not stay with me. She wants to go find a man who can hear her laugh and does not have to type out his words. At the same time, her conscience tells her not to discriminate. Petra does not want to be the shallow woman who refuses a man because he is deaf. She does not want to turn me down the way so many others have, or so she assumes. Her internal battle is like a 3-act play unfolding before my eyes, and I know how it ends. She stays. Her first question about my hearing, or lack of it, is have I been deaf from birth? Yes, I have. No, I have never heard anything, not a laugh, not a voice, not a puppy barking or a plane overhead. Petra gives me a sad face. She does not realize this is patronizing, and I don't tell her because she is trying, because she stays. She asks if I can read lips. I nod. She starts to talk. The bartender comes over. He is neat, clean, college age. Petra takes charge of ordering, and it is because I am deaf. Women always think I need to be taken care of. They like to do things for me because they think I am weak. She leans towards me and puts her hand on my arm, leaves it there. She has forgotten I am not her ideal man, and our progression is now predictable. It's not long before we go to her place. The decision is easier than it should be, though not because I find her particularly attractive. It's in the choice. She gives me the power to decide, and right now I am a man who says yes. Petra lives downtown, close to the bar, in the middle of all the big branding signs. Her place is not as neat as I expect. There is clutter everywhere, papers and clothes and dishes. It makes me think she loses her keys a lot. She flits around, dropping her bag in one place and removing her shoes in another. 2 glasses appear filled with red wine, and she leads me into the bedroom. She turns to face me, smiling. Petra has become more attractive. Even her plain hair seems to sparkle. It is the alcohol, yes, but it is also her happiness. I get the feeling she has not been this happy in a while, and I'm not sure why. She is attractive enough. She takes the glass out of my hand and puts it down. Afterward, she dozes off first. I think about leaving, then think about staying. The idea bounces around so long I doze off. When I wake up, it's still dark. I slip out of the bed without waking Petra. She is sleeping face down, one leg askew, and her hair spread out on the pillow. I cannot decide if I really like her or not, so I don't decide at all. I do not have to. On the nightstand, her earrings. They are made of colored glass, a swirl of blue shades, and they look like her eyes. After getting dressed, I slip the earrings into my pocket. I take them to remind myself not to do this again. I almost believe it will work. I walk towards the front door without looking back. Are you really deaf? She says it out loud, to my back. I hear her because I am not deaf. And I keep moving. I pretend I don't hear her, go straight to the door and shut it behind me, then continue until I'm out of the building, down the block, and around the corner. It is only then that I stop and wonder how she figured it out. I must have slipped.
Y'all please welcome the Ellis Family Band.
While walking down a memory lane, a past so long ago, old Satan came right by my side, making me feel low. He brought up thoughts of hurt and pain when I had gone astray. He wanted to discourage me as I walked along my way. He said, "You're undeserving, 'cause I know where you've been. I have a record of your life when you were bound by sin. I know your darkest secrets that you would never tell. What makes you think you don't deserve a place with me in hell?" I heard the old accuser, and this was my reply. "You're right for all the things I've done. I sure deserve to die. My righteousness is filthy rags. My goodness is unclean. There's only one thing I can say to what you said to me. It's under the blood. Oh, praise His true name. I'm not what I used to be. My life's been changed. Sin and shame, it's already gone. I'm happy reminding Him it's under the blood. Well, victory was given me when I was born again. He washed my stained and sinful past and put new life within. No longer do I bear the mark that sin had brought my way. With happiness and peace of mind, praise God, I now can say, it's under the blood. Oh, praise His true name. I'm not what I used to be. My life's been changed. Sin and shame, it's already gone. I'm happy reminding Him it's under the blood.
glad to be here tonight. Usually this is our oldest daughter, Brianna. She's 19 years old, and she does most of all our lead singing, but she's not going to do it tonight. She hadn't had any voice for a couple of days, so we're going to let Brinley lead us off on one tonight. Brinley's 15 years old. She's our youngest daughter. And this is an old bluegrassy mountain kind of sounding song called Born Again. And the Bible says you must be born again. We love this old song.
Born again, free from sin, I'm happy night and day. It makes me shout, there's no doubt, I know I'm born again. Satan tells me that I only thought I got saved. He tells me what a fool I have been. But when my mind comes back to that altar where I prayed, I know that I've been born again. Born again, free from sin, I'm happy night and day. It makes me shout, there's no doubt, I know I'm born again. Many times along the way, my faith has grown weak when burdens seem to rise on every hand. But when I still away in prayer, He answers my plea. My every need He understands. Born again, free from sin, I'm happy night and day. It makes me shout, there's no doubt, I know I'm born again, free from sin, I'm happy night and day. It makes me shout, there's no doubt, I know I'm born again. It makes me shout, there's no doubt, I know I'm born again.
All right. We're going to let Joshua, he's our youngest, he's 8 years old, he's going to sing a song for you that his sister wrote him. He recorded it on his 6th birthday. We actually have tried to record it the day before, and he wouldn't have none of it, so we went back the next day. And it's called I'm a Little Boy Who God Loves. It's a cute little song, and everybody loves it, but I'm thankful that God loves you, and He loves me, and He loves everybody. Amen. I'm thankful for that. So come on, Joshua, and sing that for us.
Ellis Family Band, y'all. How about that? Thank y'all for being here. We love our home at Off Square Books. We have wound up our fall 2019 season right here. We'll finish up the whole year next week at the Lyric. We invite y'all to join us. 6 o'clock show. Bring a pal. We've got plenty of room over there. Our author will be M. Randall Owain. He has written a series of essays, Meander Belt. A really fine book. We have a duo. Good Luck Ola will be joining us. Washboard. I believe they play washboard. Washboard Folkies. And then from Memphis, Tennessee, the city that just keeps on giving, the big brass sound, y'all, of the Lucky 7 Brass Band will join us next week at the Lyric. Y'all, please come out. Listen to us on Saturday nights as per usual. We'll see you throughout the winter. We'll see you next week. We'll see you Friday, December the 6th for our party. Hope you can join us. Thanks for being a member, and we'll see you on the radio.
See the policeman on his beat coming along.